Hi class. In 1864, my 42-year-old great-grandfather Alfred joined the Union Army at Camp Nelson, Kentucky, to fight for the Union Army during the Civil War. Later, another 23-year-old relative, Martin, joined the Union Army to also fight. They were both inducted into the United States Colored Troops, USCT. For my dissertation, I will investigate the role the United States Colored Troops gave to the Union Army during the Civil War. In the Civil War, by the war's end, 179,000 Negro troops served for the Union. That was 10% of the Army's strength. 40,000 of those died from either wounds or disease. In the dissertation by James Kenneth Bryant, a model regiment, the 36th United States Colored Infantry in the Civil War, demonstrates that the 36th Infantry Regiment was ready to fight, and they were apt at countering Confederate guerrilla activity. And the 36th was among the first Union troops to enter Richmond, the abandoned capital of the Confederacy, in 1865. Let's bear in mind that just 2 years prior, these men were slaves on someone's plantation, someone's farm. And Bryant spends much time explaining the enlistment of the Negro troops, who were initially barred from service. Bryant's service sources include books, diaries, military records, military orders, and scholarly journals. A second dissertation, Eagles on Their Buttons, the 5th Regiment of the Infantry, United States Colored Troops in the American Civil War. Purcell Frederick Washington takes a different approach and highlights a different unit. He teases out how in Ohio, blacks and whites worked together for the formation of the United States Colored Troops. I found this to be a very different picture in Kentucky, where blacks were barred from service, thought to be inferior troops. I also disagree with Washington's dissertation in Chapter 2 entitled Leaders, where he said the United States Colored Troops was an experiment by the Union Army. I totally disagree. The Union Army was desperate when their draft quotas fell far below what they needed to engage in the war. So the enlistment of the blacks was a desperation. I waited for Washington to defend this position, but he never did. Washington's bibliography is composed of books, historical newspapers, magazines, Union and Confederate military reports, military service, and muster records. I really enjoyed that dissertation. A third major source for this research project is Marion B. Lucas, A History of Blacks in Kentucky from Slavery to Segregation, from 1760 to 1891. Lucas is a professor at Western Kentucky University. And in the book, he teases out the service of Elijah Morris, former slave who survived the war, became a school teacher, and co-founded the Normal and Theological Institute of Kentucky and a Baptist minister. I look forward to deeper research on this project, and I would thoroughly enjoy if you ask questions if you wanted to know more about the United States Colored Troops. Thank you for watching my video, and best of luck to all of you as you pursue your research projects.